And here's where people go wrong. You're getting set, you're ready to organize your life, and you decide to go shopping. It's not a good thing. You decide you're going to go shopping because you got to go buy new equipment to get organized. That's not true. So you got to go out and you buy those Rubbermaid swimming pools, well, containers that hold everything in the world. You go out and you buy new bookshelves or a new file cabinet. You buy all these containers, and guess what you do? You go back and you contain everything. There's a two-step process to organizing this part of your life. First, you have to declutter your life, and then you contain what remains that you must keep. Don't just go ahead and going out and buying all these containers, because that's exactly what you do. You make a list of what you need, you go out and you buy it, and you're like, I'm ready. And then you don't get rid of anything, and now you're back to square one. And if you do use those containers in the end, label them so you know what's in them. And having a realistic time schedule, this happens to people all the time. They want to become more organized, but they don't have a time schedule. So they have 2 hours to organize a certain area of their life. And what they do is they start sorting. You get in that mood. Do you know what that mood's like? It's terrible, isn't it? You start sorting things, you're sorting, you're like, oh my gosh, my 2 hours are up, I have to leave. So you get ready to leave, and you look around, and what started out as one pile is now like 43 piles, and you have to leave, so you take the papers and you do this. Yeah, you're all guilty. Okay, so you do the stacking of all these papers, and now you're no further organized than you were when you started, so you don't want to have that happen. So what I use is called the half-time rule. The first half of whatever time allotment that you have to become more organized, you would spend sorting. And the second half you spend putting it away. And in the Go step, I have a system called the easy system, because I like things to be very easy. Some of us don't recognize this, but clutter is nothing more than unmade decisions. Does that make sense? That's a big statement, actually. Clutter is nothing more than unmade decisions. So if you have a hard time making decisions, what to wear to work, what to make for dinner, chances are you're not a good decision maker. That's okay. Just understand that you're not a good decision maker. Maybe have somebody help you to do this. But what I like about the easy system is it helps you make decisions more quickly and easily, because there's only 4 options when you're sorting through papers, which is extremely important, because I don't want you micro-sorting into 1,000 piles. So you do exactly what I just said. You take a piece of paper and you use that easy system. The E stands for eliminate. The A stands for act on it. And I'll show you what this means in a second. The S stands for send it away. That means it doesn't belong to you or in the space where you're working. And the Y is you file it. Okay, so that's it. That's the only 4 things you can do with a piece of paper. So you pick something up off of your desk, and you ask yourself, do I need this? If the answer is no, by all means, put it in the trash. And if you recycle, put it in the recycle. If you pick something else up and you're just not quite sure if you need to keep it, or you spend more than 10 seconds on deciding what it is, put it on the bottom of the pile. You shouldn't really, because I know what will happen is you'll get, oh, yeah, I remember this. And you get all into it, and you start going down memory lane, and then you're like, oh, look at these pictures. And the next thing you know, half an hour's gone, and your time is running out. So don't spend more than 10 or 15 seconds deciding on which one of these piles something should go in. It goes in the trash. Pick something else that requires action, put it in the action pile. You'll deal with that in the second half, because remember, we're split the halftime. Pick something else up, doesn't belong to you or in your space, put it by the door and call that your send it away pile. Don't deliver it now, because you know why? You won't come back. Yeah, I know you. Okay, you pick something else up that needs to be filed. Do not open the file cabinet, even if you know exactly where it goes, because what will happen is you'll go like, ooh, and you look in there, you'll get all wrapped up in there, so you don't want to do that, so put it in the file pile. And now that's the only 4 choices that you have. Does that make sense to you? Just easy. You eliminate, act, send it away, you file it. And then the second half comes along, you take that trash out, get rid of it, the action pile. Take anything in your action pile and plug it into your time slots in your day planner. Don't just put it into a pile on your desk that you go through every day, because the one day you forget to go through it is the day that things were due. So don't do that. Actually take each paper and say, when am I going to next need to touch this, and put it in your day planner and assign it a time. And you can also take those papers and put them into a tickler file. If you know what a tickler file is, it's a filing system that has 1 through 31 and January through December, and you put it in the appropriate number, and that's exactly where it'll be when you go to do that activity. There's the paper for you. It's a really simple system. If it's for a future month, put it in that month. When that month comes, you pull it forward, take everything out, put it in the number of that month that you want to work on it. Not the day that it's due, because by then it's a little too late. So you next want to touch it. So that's the action pile. The send it away pile. You go out and you take it and you deliver it to where it needs to go. If you're at work and it needs to go home, put it in your car. If it's at home and it needs to go to work, put it in your car. Get it to that next step. Don't say you're going to do it, because you walk by that every day, and then all of a sudden it becomes clutter again, because clutter is also things that you no longer see. that pile of newspapers that you walk past or the pile of reading material that just causes you stress. So don't let that happen. And the file pile, well, that's a whole day unto itself, but I just want to talk about the file pile. You want to just make sure that you sort it into categories and have it go into your filing system. So that's as simple as it can be. Organizing your life is, you don't want to get organized. I want to distinguish this. You do not want to get organized. Getting organized is an event. It's a one-time event. That's when you put the things under your desk and into a closet and you shove things away. What you want to do is you want to be organized. Being organized is a process. It's an ongoing process. You work at it every day. And it's not that difficult to do if you use that easy system at the end of your day. And if you don't think that being organized is important or costly, let me just throw this at you. If you spend 5 minutes of each hour of your 8-hour day looking for things, that adds up to over 4 weeks a year that you spend just looking for things. If you ever look for your keys or your glasses or who always calls their cell phone? Anybody here always calling their cell phone? Yeah, it's really a pain whenever it's turned off. Okay, so if you're always losing things or always looking for things, life is adventurous enough. You don't need to be hunting for your car keys every day. Find a place and decide where they need to live. But if you just spend 5 minutes of each hour looking for things, that adds up to over 4 weeks a year. That's powerful. It's a lot of time. And the bad news, most people spend between 6 and 8 weeks a year. Take the get ready, get set, and the go. Apply it. Do it just for 10 minutes at the end of the day on that easy system, and you too can have a 2-week vacation you never thought you could have. Thank you.